It was a cold January evening in Manhattan, the kind where wind slipped between buildings like a ghost. Trump Tower, tall and glowing, stood like a golden flame in the dark city. Inside, the marble lobby was nearly empty. Most employees had gone home. Only a few guards remained, leaning on their radios, waiting for the clock to run out. But on the 34th floor, the lights were still on. Donald Trump sat alone in his private office, the city stretching beyond the glass like a silent sea. He was surrounded by trophies, photos, headlines, echoes of a life lived in bold. But tonight, he didn't feel bold. He felt tired. Something had shifted. He'd just gotten off the phone with a top donor who pulled support for his next venture. The press was on fire again. Some old recording had surfaced, and Twitter had erupted. Again, he looked down at his reflection in the polished wood of the desk. It didn't lie. His face looked older than it used to. He leaned back, fingers tented. Silence filled the room, then, a sound, a mop bucket rolling in the hallway. He frowned, he buzzed the intercom. "Didn't we finish cleaning already?" The security guard replied, "That's just Raymond, Mr. Trump. He always does the 34th floor last. His routine." Trump didn't respond. Minutes passed. Then a soft knock. He called out, "Come in." The door creaked open. Raymond stepped in, maybe 60, Hispanic, small frame, gray curls poking out from his janitor's cap. He looked startled to find Trump still there. "Oh, I didn't know you were still in, sir. I can come back later." Trump waved a hand. "No, stay. Do what you need." Raymond hesitated, then rolled in his bucket and began quietly mopping the marble floor. Trump watched him for a while. Finally, he spoke. "You've been here a long time, haven't you?" Raymond looked up, surprised again. "Yes, sir. Almost 23 years." Trump nodded. "You like the work?" Raymond gave a tired smile. "It's honest work. My father cleaned floors too. My son's in college now, maybe he won't have to." Trump leaned forward. "What's he studying?" "Architecture," Raymond said, proudly. "He wants to build things. I told him. One day, maybe he'll build a tower even taller than this." Trump chuckled. "That's ambitious." Raymond shrugged. So was this building. There was silence for a moment. Trump stood and walked to the window. He spoke without turning. "You know, people think I had it easy. Rich father. Privilege. And yes, I had advantages. But what people don't see is what I did with them." Raymond kept mopping, quietly listening. "I remember being 25. Pitching my first project. Everyone laughed. Said I'd fail. I almost did. Twice." Trump turned. "You know what saved me?" Raymond stopped mopping. "A janitor. Just like you." Trump walked toward him. He worked nights. Always had a kind word. "One night, I was so low I thought about quitting. I stayed late in the office, alone. He came in, asked me why I looked so broken. I told him everything. He listened. Then he said, The tallest trees grow in the strongest storms, Raymond nodded slowly. That sounds like something my father would say. Trump smiled faintly. What's your father's name? Javier. He came from Guatemala. No English. Worked 3 jobs. Taught me to clean, to serve, to stay humble. Trump walked over to his desk and sat down. Raymond, do you know what it's like to have the world watch everything you do, just to catch you falling? Raymond gave a small nod. Yes, sir. But they watch us to make sure we don't step out of line. Trump blinked. That answer hit deeper than he expected. Raymond placed his mop back in the bucket and stood tall. I've cleaned the floors of this tower for over 2 decades. I've seen presidents walk through. Celebrities. CEOs. But do you know who I remember the most? Trump tilted his head. People who say good evening. Who ask my name. Who don't throw trash like I'm not standing right there. Trump didn't reply, then Raymond said, You used to nod at me when you passed. Not much. But it meant something. Trump looked down. I forgot, he said quietly. The higher I went, the less I looked down. Raymond smiled kindly. Then maybe it's time to look across. At the people beside you. Trump stood and extended his hand. I'm sorry, Raymond, for not seeing you. Raymond shook it, his grip firm. It's never too late, Mr. Trump. Trump nodded. How's your son's tuition looking? Raymond's smile faded a bit. We're making it work. Trump walked to a drawer, pulled out a checkbook, and wrote something down. He tore out the slip, folded it, and handed it to Raymond. Raymond hesitated. I didn't tell you this for charity. It's not charity, Trump said. It's gratitude. Raymond opened the check. His eyes widened. Then he shook his head. This is too much. Trump placed a hand on his shoulder. No, it's just enough. Let your son build something greater. Let him stand on your shoulders. Tears welled in Raymond's eyes. I'll tell him. He owes this to a janitor and a builder. Trump smiled. 2 men who refused to be small. That night, Donald Trump didn't just see a janitor, he saw his own reflection, a man who kept going, even when no one clapped. A man who cleaned the paths others walked, so his child could fly. And Raymond, he saw a man behind the name, not a tower, not a brand, not a controversy. Just a man trying to remember how to matter. 1 year later, Trump Tower hosted a small ceremony. On the 34th floor, a framed photo hung near the elevators. It showed Raymond and his son, Miguel, standing on a construction site beside blueprints. From floors to foundations, the American dream lives in those who never stop building. Trump didn't tweet it. He just stood there, watching people walk by, hoping they would stop long enough to read.